If you have ever turned in a letter of disassociation to the Watchtower Society, or gave one to an elder, or mailed it to the local Kingdom Hall, you may want to rethink writing another one. I am told 3 things happen when the Watchtower receives a letter of disassociation. A letter of disassociation is basically a former Jehovah's Witness or an ex-Jehovah's Witness turning in a letter to the Watchtower Society or to an elder, or just mailing it to a Kingdom Hall, saying that they no longer want to be associated or recognized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm told that when the Watchtower receives these letters, they look for semantics in every way possible. So what do I mean? Well, what if you left the date off of the letter? They void it and throw it in the trash. You're still counted every year. If you don't say in the letter that you wish to no longer be recognized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses forever, they'll put their own date on there. It'll be a day, maybe 2 days, a year, but you'll be back to being counted in. They'll pick apart on how it's worded. Like if you mess something up in the paragraph, they'll toss it in the trash can and pay no attention to it. You're still going to be counted as a Jehovah's Witness no matter what. I am also told that they are counting unalived Jehovah's Witnesses, and they've been doing so for years. And the reason they're doing this is because, once again, of semantics. They say, well, you know, even though they're unalive, they're still one of Jehovah's people. Silly. So what I did for everybody who wants to write a letter of disassociation or needs to rewrite a letter of disassociation from the Watchtower Society, I have 2 links in the description. If TikTok doesn't let me put it in the description, it'll be on my YouTube channel, where I'm sure that YouTube will let me put it in the description. The first link is to this letter that I'm about to read you now, and the second link will be explaining how to do the dates. You'll see in a second what I mean. All right, I'm going to read you the letter. Here we go. To whom it may concern. This letter is to inform Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania, aka the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York, located at 1 Kings Drive, Wallkill, New York 12589-3292, henceforward to be known as the entities, that I, and then you would enter your name here, no longer wish or want to be identified as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I also no longer wish or want to be counted among the populace of Jehovah's Witnesses as a publisher, Bible student, unbaptized publisher, spiritual brother, or any other title that would connect me in any way to the Jehovah's Witnesses or their respective entities, and cause me to be counted among the populace of Jehovah's Witnesses. My intention of writing this letter is to completely sever any and all ties, attachments, bonds, both spiritual and non-spiritual, that would consider me as counted in your published number of Jehovah's Witnesses. This letter is to stand as a receipt for the recipient, and my aforementioned request should commence from the date of receipt of this letter. My request mentioned in this letter should be permanent and unending. I also wish or want any oaths or agreements have knowingly or unknowingly made, including my baptism that was carried out through and by the entities. The most recent Kingdom Hall I have attended is located at, then the address would go there. A copy of this letter will also be sent to every Kingdom Hall I have ever attended in my lifetime. The dates below should be considered accordingly, as well as any other known or unknown date formats unknown to myself in which both aforementioned Watchtower entities may use. Okay, now I'm going to explain all these dates here that say AD, AM, AO, AL, and Julian. So you have to remember that these guys are Freemasons. Some of them are connected to the Knights Templar, the Scottish Rite, etc. And all those entities use different types of dates. So for instance, like the Freemasons, they use 4,000 years. You take 4,000 years and add it to today's date. So for us, today is August 18th, 2025. But for them, it would be August 18th, 6025. Long story. The second link that I'm going to put in the description is going to explain this part. I already told you about the Masonic date. And then there's the Scottish Rite Anno Mundi, which adds 3,760 years to the current year. And then you have the Knights Templar, Anno Ordinis, or AO, which subtracts 1,118 years. I also put a line for the Julian date. You can Google Julian date. It's from Julius Caesar, but basically you take, like, let's say today was January 1st, that would be 1. But if it was January 31st, that would be 31. The date would be just 31. February 1st would be 32, etc. And now, since I know that they're counting unalived JWs, which is just messed up, I think if anybody has family that was unalived as a JW, should send in a letter on their behalf. And like it says in the letter, I'm going to be sending off my disassociation letter to every Kingdom Hall I've ever been to. I will not give them a gateway to count me again as a Jehovah's Witness. It's not happening. Now, I was never baptized as a JW, but I'm an unbaptized publisher, and that needs to go away. So if you weren't ever baptized as a JW, then you could delete the part in there that talks about the baptism, because that baptism is actually an oath to the organization. It really is. You should see the latest questions they have for the baptism, that you recognize the authority of the governing body. I mean, that's just like blows me away. So just to recap, there'll be 2 links. If TikTok doesn't let me put them in the description, they'll be on my YouTube channel. One link is to this letter. You can use it exactly as it is, or you can add to it or take away. It's just like a model for you to go by. And remember, they are using semantics. They are looking for any little mistake at all to just toss your letter in the garbage. So if you've already sent in a letter of disassociation, you should probably do it again as meticulous as this and send it to any Kingdom Hall you've ever attended. I am not going to let them count me as a JW, not one more time. And with all the thousands of JWs leaving this crackpot cult, I think this video needs to make it to as many exjws as possible. Don't let them count you. They are using you. And not only that, they're using you to get loans. They're fudging their numbers, basically. But the reason their number is jacked up so high is because they're using unalive JWs, and they're looking for semantics in all these disassociation letters. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Never miss the chance
to be fooled by Jehovah.